Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, you folks, sampler platter video series videos I've been doing for a little while now, where I go over there and try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that the time I'm doing this, well, folks, did you know that Pakistan is the 5th most populated country on the world? It is. I didn't know that until just recently. But now I know it, you know it too. Anyway, folks, Pakistan aside, what am I going to be trying for y'all today, folks? Well, I'm in the truck. You can see I'm in the truck, but I'm not wearing a grody work shirt. No, indeed, folks, I'm wearing a cool shirt. When I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight the cool shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing? Boom! POD shirt. Hell's POD? Well, if you were around during the late 90s and early 2000s, then you should know. POD, they're a band, first and foremost. Kind of rap metal, kind of new metal, kind of depends on who you talk to. They are a Christian band, which can throw some people off. I myself, when it comes to that end of things, they make fun music. Some of it's about Jesus stuff. Some of it isn't so much about Jesus stuff. I'm more into the not-so-Jesus-y part of things, but at the same time, I can appreciate, personal faith and all that good stuff. And I was fortunate enough, I got to see these guys perform. They were on tour with a Ukrainian band called Ginger. I got to see them a little while back, and they put on a hell of a show. I mean, regardless of whatever, they put on a great show. The fans were really enjoying it. They played all the appropriate hits. Hell, folks, they had a song on the Matrix soundtrack. They even played that at the show. If you happen to be interested at all, I do have videos of that concert on this very channel because I also upload concert videos. But anyway, what am I trying for y'all today, folks? Boom! Boom! Yes, indeed, folks, it's an energy drink now. It's an energy drink. It's Dragon Energy. Because of course it is. Yeah, so okay. A little bit of a story with this one. I found this at a random gas station I went to. And I get this question occasionally from people who will ask, like, where do you find this stuff? I would say at least 75% random gas stations. I'll just see a gas station that I have not been to. Typically not one like I get a lot of stuff from 7-Eleven, but that's just because there's 7-Elevens around me. But I'll go to ones that I'm not familiar with, the core store, whether it's Circle K or some random ass one or whatever. And then I just peruse for a little bit. And a lot of times I'll come up with at least one or two things that are interesting. I have never tried Dragon Energy. I've never heard of Dragon Energy. But like I said, I got it at a random ass gas station. When I got it, two things. Number one, it was crud encrusted. I mean, there was dust on the thing. I had to clean this shit off, folks. And you can still kind of see on the bottom here, it's a little bit broken up. Yeah, so that was what it was. But then the other thing was that I went over there and I brought it up to the guy at the register, who was a nice enough guy, but oddly enough, the, weird ancient can didn't scan. So instead of just going over there and doing what I would have did when I worked at a gas station back in the day and just rung it up for $1, because at that point, it's not my job to go over there and figure out what the hell the price on this thing is, because there was no price listed on the can, on the display, it wouldn't ring up. Just mark it as a 99 beverage. And 99-cent beverage. But instead, he literally started Googling the price of it, trying to find... he tried his best to do his job, and then ultimately we decided to just go over there and ring up a Monster, which I'm sure I paid too much for, but it's Dragon Energy. Now you ask yourself, Brandon, why did you go over there and buy yourself a dusty, crud-covered can? Because when the fuck else was I going to find Dragon Energy? I've never seen this stuff before. Oh, it's taurine and caffeine. I'm guessing, I'm just going to make the guess right now that this is going to be some basic ass energy drink. I'm not expecting anything. Oh, shit! Well, that's how that went. Shit. Oh, man. I don't care too much about my car. I mean, it's, it's already quite old and cruddy looking, but, I would have liked it if that hadn't landed so that I looked like I pissed myself, but it'll dry. Smells like frustrating. I'll say this, it doesn't just taste like generic energy drink, so it has that going for it, even if it decided to go over there and spill all over my lap. I have no idea why, by the way, folks. I mean, yeah, I did a little bit of a thing with it, but it's just been sitting in my fridge for like a week and a half. It's hardly been jostled. But apparently that's the power of the dragon. Could be a voice actor, right? No. It's not bad. It's kind of berry tasting. While it's not, it might not be generic energy drink flavor. It is somewhat generic berry energy drink flavor. However, to its credit, again, with the exception of it erupting on me, fucking Dragon Energy Bukake video, it actually tastes pretty good. Like, the thing with energy drinks, for me, and I've had a lot of energy drinks in my life, folks, way more than any person should have. At some point, it's either going to kill me or I'm going to get superpowers. One way or the other. But yeah, in terms of energy drinks, especially with generic ones, they're not as bad as they used to be. They used to be really bad about it. But a lot of times they still sort of have like kind of a funky taste to them. It's not particularly pleasant to drink. And so they mask it with, citrus or fruit or what the hell ever. But depending on how they mix it and whatnot, it can still be pretty prevalent. In this case, it's not. So, to its absolute credit, in fact, if anything, and maybe it's because it's an ancient-ass can, it's almost a little bit underflavored. The berry aspect of it is there. It almost tastes more like drinking a berry soda than, let's see, how much, made in South Africa. Dragon Energy. 150 milligrams per can. So, kind of the lower end of the, energy drink spectrum. But that's fine. I don't know. I don't need it to be super juiced up anyway. But yeah, no. It almost tastes more like a berry soda than a berry energy drink, which for me is pleasant. I like berry sodas and stuff, and it doesn't have that just kind of off energy, generic energy drink taste that I was talking about. But then it also just doesn't taste quite as flavorful as it should. Because it has this light berry taste, then there's a little bit of a tartness to it, which is, to be expected with a berry type drink. But it doesn't really do much beyond that. And I don't hate that about it. Because again, a lot of energy drinks are just trying too hard. And they're cramming too much stuff in there, and then they have to put too much stuff to, cover up the taste of that crap. And it can be a little bit funky. Like I said, not as bad as it used to be. Especially these days now that there are so many big players, with Monster, Reign, Bang, Full Throttle's still in there amazingly. But, you get my point. So, there are so many that have already set a good standard that it's hard to get away with doing that generic energy drink crap. And I'm surprised and pleasantly surprised that Dragon Energy from South Africa, although I think it's actually, distributed by Kingsley Beverages in Houston, Texas. So, but yeah, it's good. Like I said, if anything, I could just do for a little bit more berry flavor. But other than that, it's perfectly drinkable and actually kind of pleasant. So, I didn't have high hopes going into it, especially with everything that has led me to owning this can. But, yeah, it's perfectly alright. Now, that said, would I recommend it? For one thing, you'd have to find some. And then on top of that, hopefully it isn't like a super crusted over can, the one that I found. But if you do happen to run into some and it's within this century, go ahead and give it a shot. I think that, it'll kind of depend on what you want from your energy drink experience. But for me, where, I do like something where I don't want it to be super punchy with the flavor, this works nicely. This actually is something that, if it were oddly enough widely available to me, I would probably pick up periodically. Not because it's the best tasting energy drink I've ever had, but because it does taste good and it is a lighter experience than a lot of the more extreme ones. I could go for that occasionally. So, 2 Dragon Energy, even though this can is probably older than fucking the Declaration of Independence, and, you went over there and exploded on me for no goddamn good reason, I'm going to go over there and say just because something because of the Bolsheviks? I don't know. But you at least tasted pretty good, and I don't mind the dragon design on it. It's a little generic, but I can kind of dig it. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of the day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of the year, and folks, you go over there and have yourselves a truly dragon-tastic rest of your life. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You try not to be an asshole. Okay? Now, that's not always the easiest thing to do. Sometimes you're over there and you're drinking energy drinks that, I'm sure sustained the people who built the fucking pyramids. And on top of that being a thing, then you got guys going over there and trying to ring you up for the price of a 1970 fucking Honda Civic or some shit like that to figure out what the price of it is. And then to top it all off, it goes over there and makes you look like you done pissed yourself. That can be a little asshole-inducing. But that's why I put try at the front. That's very deliberate. Because we all have those moments where we're be a little bit of an asshole. We try to go over there, take a step back. I'm thinking about, I'm going to be going to have a nice meal, hopefully. Going to do a couple things, get some stuff out of my way. Try to mitigate the level of assholes in my life. Because I know that when I do that, hopefully, makes lives around me a little bit better. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there and you're going to find yourself a time machine. And you're going to go over there and you're going to go back to the time when Ben Franklin was going over there and flying his kite and doing his thing. I think they even scientifically proved that maybe that wasn't real. Maybe on Mythbusters or some shit. Or I could be completely wrong. I'm full of dragon energy, folks. But you go over there and you get a dragon energy from him because clearly it was available during his time. You use it to go over there. Not only are you going to help him with his experiment because it's about to go down, but then you go over there and you bring the DeLorean along, what with all the gigawatts and everything and stuff like that. Biff bam boom, turns out that Doc Brown was actually Benjamin Franklin. I'm just saying, Illuminati confirmed. Or conversely, you could not do any of that bullshit. What's the thing that you could do, though? Hey, go learn more about Benjamin Franklin. That's not a rabbit hole to go down or anything like that. But on a more serious note that doesn't lead to learning unfortunate things about people that we hold in high regard. Hey, history is a great thing. I mean, sometimes, yeah, you learn some pretty nasty stuff about people, but you can also just learn interesting facts and stuff like that, like how Pakistan is the 5th largest population on the planet. All right, bye.